clicking the things, and we are live. Half an hour early. What's going on, everyone?
Hi.
This is the belated February edition of the discussion show. Because technology failed us.
Yeah.
Not knowing that when we reset the passwords for Fanboy Brian to go live, or was it sound like a dude? I can't remember.
That was dude. I think
it was dude. Okay. One of the two to cover for us on a Sunday, realizing that it kicks everyone off, so we need to go bug Woody, and sometimes Woody get tired, Woody get sick, and Woody go to bed early. So
yeah,
but we're here now. We're here to talk about cereal, because that was our main thing, because we got on this weird tangent about cereal that I found a cereal tier list. And when I made the tweet from the Game Days account, I type in cereal. The second GIF I get is of this puppet. I'll flip over to the screen so you can see it, but like of this puppet that's just mashing his face into a bowl of Fruit Loops with AirPods. And you had pointed out before we went live that like the AirPods are not even like synced into his ears properly.
No, they're just kind of wedged somewhere near his head or near his ears.
There's a way of full screen media in there. Try and click on it, but it's just
with
pausing.
a GIF. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so, but like,
probably not.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
If our top tier is Magic Spoon, I haven't had Magic Spoon because it might be delicious. It might be better for me. I'm not spending $10 on a box of cereal, even if I can buy it locally, which I can.
Yeah.
Target carries it.
I mean, every now and then you'll get an influencer who have like a really good deal. My wife in the chat, nom. Every now and then, like, you'll get like a good deal on it. I had bought it. I used Matt McMuscles when he had the code, and it was $5 off my order. I think it would come up to about like it is a little bit more pricey. I will say that, but it is really good. We still have 4 boxes left of it. I have like the frosted ones, cocoa, and peanut butter. But like so far, like my favorites have been fruity, and oddly enough, Honey Nut, which they have like stats on their website to tell you like the nutritional value of the cereal versus like the big name brand. But like on the box, they can't legally put the big name brands on there because copyrights and all that. But on the website, they'll have the logos there, and like they said, like, oh, Honey Nut is equivalent to Honey Nut Cheerios. The Honey Nut don't taste like Honey Nut Cheerios. I'll tell you that much. But it's still good. It's crazy. But yeah, Magic Spoon's pretty good. I mean, it is a little bit pricey. I was pitching it to a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, this is a good alternative for your kids. Like, it's not a whole lot of sugar in there, but or no sugar at all, I should say. There's just a different type of sweetener in there. For Cuckoo for Magic Spoon. I don't know. I haven't had the cocoa ones yet. My favorite cereal is just bacon in a bowl. Oh God.
Ugh. I mean, it'd be fine, but
Actually, the other day, Melanie woke up early enough and cooked bacon before I had to work. It was waking up to the smell of bacon. She like brings it in on like a tray as I'm like just kind of like on the cuffs of waking up, and she's just like, bacon. I'm like, oh, that's the delicious smell to wake up to.
Now.
Bacon milk.
God, wasn't there? I know that. What was the fucking story behind this?
I've heard of people putting bacon in like ice cream, like people like in restaurants were like serving up sundaes with bacon bits in them.
I don't know if this was like a Kickstarter thing or just something that someone did, but someone actually made a like an alarm clock that what you would do is 10 minutes before you want to get up is when you'd set the alarm, because then it would start cooking bacon. So that
what can I say? I know
bacon.
Is this just like wait? That just sounds like then that someone's just kickstarting the breakfast machine from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
A little bit.
What can I say? I know my man.
I was just gonna say when this article is from. This is one of those internet things I've heard about so long ago.
So we got the tier list, which I accidentally closed, so I gotta go back and reopen that.
Oh, is this a Shark Tank? Oh, this was on Shark Tank. That's what it was. This was like 12 years ago at this point.
Yeah. You know what I'll get every now and then on TikTok is the Scrub Daddy Shark Tank.
Mm.
Where the guy like pitched the Scrub Daddy and they all told him no and he just sold it anyway and he's like a millionaire.
Yeah, that dude's loaded now. Like
Yeah.
I've heard good stuff about Scrub Daddy, honestly, but
At first I was like, oh, it's just like
it did not go over well. It did not succeed.
No.
I'd say it was one of the worst pitches in history. But yeah, you saying that just reminded me of someone trying to sell an alarm clock that cooks bacon for the alarm.
God. All right, so before we get into the tier list and all the other stuff there, there's a quick little video that you wanted to show everyone that you sent off to
as part of like you know, how was our week? Because I've got a lot of stuff during my week, but you know, we can do this video first. Long and the short, I'll give a lot more details later, but Joe and I went to Portland, Oregon, and we found this arcade called Ground Control. And Joe was playing as Miss Pac-Man, but it's like, that is not, unless it's been a long time since I've played Miss Pac-Man, that's not the speed Miss Pac-Man should be going. They have her in like turbo mode.
Yeah, there's actually
like, I had gone off to play something else, and then it approached, and it was just like, what is happening on this screen?
It's actually a popular mod from all the way back in the 80s. It's actually like a speed mod. I don't know if it's a chip that you just like someone can just come in and install on your Ms. Pac-Man cabinet, but like basically like you put the chip in and then there's like a dip switch you can flip and then you can actually put it to maximum speed right away. I know like a lot of people who run barcades that are just like, I want this by default because like you get the speed right away. You don't have to worry about doing anything else.
Yeah. I guess unless you're like very specifically setting it up for a speed record thing.
Yeah.
You know, like Billy Mitchell and his completely unmodified Donkey Kong machine.
Yeah, I heard totally, about that.
There totally weren't pictures showing that it was clearly modified.
Yeah, like it was a different joystick compared to the original one, and that was what like was enough for them to say, "Oh yeah." I watched that King of Kong. That's actually something that should be on the Video Games Movie the Game review.
Have we never done that?
I don't know.
Let me go to a thing real quick.
Yeah, go to our list of stuff that's on there, but again, is not 100% accuracy because you've actually thrown on stuff there that has been that the list we got to refine because there are some lists or some of the movies and shows on the list that we've actually watched, but we don't remember doing it and it's on the list. And then there's stuff on the list that we've never watched. I was like, I don't remember watching this. And I'm here every month, every couple of weeks whenever we had it scheduled.
It doesn't mention it, so maybe we haven't seen it.
No, because we've seen Indie Game the movie.
Yeah, and we watched we've watched other documentaries. Yeah, maybe we
we watched what was it was a Netflix one. Was it not? Did we wait? Oh my god, my brain. Like we've been doing this show for too long. Have we seen High Score, the anime, right? I want to say that's a thing. That's the one where like Johnny Young Bosch voices the guy character in that, and he's like super obsessed with all video games, including. Which is funny is that they have a PC engine in there, but the dub calls it the TurboGrafx 16. And he meets a girl, and she's like really good at Street Fighter 2, and then she moves away, and then he meets a similar looking girl, and she doesn't like video. I gotta go back and rewatch that, but I'm pretty sure we've done that on the show, at least one season, at least. Oh, what he says he uses Scrub Daddy products.
We watched High Score. Was the Netflix series? I don't think we watched the anime.
Yeah, we watched High Score was the documentary because they talked about
there was a whole
the crash. There's way different topics. It was by the same group that did the Toys That Made Us.
Yeah,
but we got a lot more movies to go through because I'm going to that list. I was like, I completely forgot this is thing, and more projects are being made. Because my coworker was like, because we're talking about The Last of Us, which is, spoilers. We're going to talk about that as the movie, the game review in March. leading up to the
Well,
finale.
we
It's
had
not going to be
already
finished by the
announced it.
time we got there. Yeah, we had to announce that, and also the next game, which is Dragon Age Inquisition, because we're running behind everything.
Sure. So also, if you've played those, watched those, let us know your thoughts in the Discord. You know, obviously, especially since we're doing the discussion show now, free reign to add your thoughts on those.
Yeah.
You know, below, it's already there.
Yeah. But when we were talking about Last of Us at work, I was like, what else is coming out that's video game related? I said, well, I mean, the Mario Brothers movie in April.
True.
Which, well, man, that 30-second commercial playing the Mario Brothers Super Show theme. And I guess like the girl that did like the ad read for them, sort of, because like she's like reading the cue card off screen. That's actually the voice actress of Princess Toadstool from the Mario Brothers Super Show and Mario 3 and all that. I was like, oh my god, that's such a cool little Easter egg. But I was looking up and he's like, oh, wasn't there like a Horizon Zero Dawn show being made? I'm like, I never heard of that. So I go check on it. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Gran Turismo movie coming in August. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I think it's announced for
next year.
Announced for next year, like next holiday.
Yeah. Gears of War.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of like announced projects. Like there's still a movie about Tetris coming at some point.
I forgot about that.
Specifically, it's specifically the story of like getting Tetris out of the USSR, which is way more interesting than if they tried to actually make the game Tetris into a movie. Like that is actually a fascinating story.
We look up Silent Heroes. Someone say Horizon?
If you want a quicker version of that without all the drama, go watch Gaming Historian's video about it.
Yes, Gaming Historian's got some like
documentary about it.
Yeah, he's got some really good videos about the history of, and like those like gangbusters on YouTube. Like,
yeah,
you can find his channel right now. I think like his most viewed one too is like the story of Mario 3.
Oh, probably.
Where am I at here?
Video was pretty quickly popular. Yep, started Super Mario 3 at 6.5, and then Mario 2 at 5.2, and then Super Mario World at 4.1, and then Tetris at 3.6.
Yeah.
And just for top 5 for fun, number 5 is when a 9-year-old sued Nintendo at 2.7 million. Because
also,
that was when one of the baseball games that got released had like the MLB license, but not the MLB Players Association license. So none of the players were the same. So he sued. I'm pretty sure it got thrown out. But
yeah, that was just like, okay, if you have the MLB license, that means you have the rights to the teams. If you don't have the MLBPA, you don't have the rights to the name. So that's how you get into the Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball realm, where Ken Griffey Jr. is the only named person. Everyone else is. I remember spending so much time. You can rename everyone on there if you wanted to. I spent so much time renaming every Blue Jay into like the 92 or 93 World Series Blue Jays, and then finding out there's no save feature on the game. So when I turned it off, it was all erased. I was like, argh.
Well, that's that's where you get into like Fighting Baseball for Super Nintendo, where you had such players as Sleeve McDykel and Bobson Dugnut. Willie Dustis. I'm looking at that picture right now. Pretty famous picture of roster names. They're all just nonsense.
Yeah.
Raul Chamberlain. Someone just mashing keys to make a name not sound like a name.
Yeah, but we had a lot happen in the last month and a half since we didn't do the show. We've had a Nintendo Direct where like so much stuff got remastered and so much stuff's getting released. It's crazy. Like we got and shadow drops too, like
a massive shadow drop.
Yeah, like
by the way, here's Metroid Prime Remastered. You can just have it.
Yeah.
As a treat.
Yeah. And then we're adding like Game Boy and Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I out of all people reacting, I was like, I knew Matt McMuscles was gonna be like, oh, okay, the 2 good Game Boy games should be on there. I was like, oh, there's other stuff on there, like Gargoyle's Quest. Like, there's a lot of stuff you forget about. But it does Game Boy Color.
I'm eagerly awaiting Pokemon the Trading Card game to actually get released onto there. I will play the hell out of that.
And then like all the Game Boy Zelda games.
Game Boy somewhere, but I have it. Like I have the actual cartridge too. Yeah, Silent just said give me Game Boy and Game Boy Advance controllers. I have no idea how that would work, especially Game Boy. Game Boy Advance, I can kind of see.
Yeah. Still
You
no
know,
Batman. Get
like
0 out of 10. I'd say though, with Keaton back as Batman in the Flash movie, hey, pay the money to Warner Brothers and Sunsoft. Get those old Batman games on the consoles. I play those again. Man, Batman like on Game Boy. Like I'll never shut up about it. It's like one of my favorite Game Boy games ever. It's so good for a Game Boy game. Like
genuinely.
for a Game Boy game, the music should not slap as good as it does.
Mm,
The Game Boy controller would be a brick. I mean,
I
it is.
genuinely didn't know that Sunsoft still technically exists.
Yeah, in some way, shape, or form.
I haven't released anything since 2018, but they're still technically, as far as I can tell, a thing.
We were talking to you about potential games that could be on each system, and also with like the Game Boy Link cable system. You could technically do F1 race and have 4 players on that.
Oh yeah.
This would blow Scott Skeleton's from Fighting's mind if they actually somehow got Faceball 2000, because technically that game can do 16 players. They've never been able to get a group of people together with 16 Game Boys, 16 link cables, and 16 copies of the game to do it. But technically it's there, but
yeah. Well, I think the problem would just be I can't imagine Nintendo putting that functionality in for one game.
no.
Yeah, I remember F1 Race. I had F1. That was one of the games I had.
Actually, that's one of the games I have for Game Boy that's complete in box.
Oh, nice. So that was one I had when I was a kid. I feel like we had Tetris and F1 Race. I can't remember what else we had for. Oh no, we had Lethal Weapon for Game Boy as well. And then eventually, like made like a schoolyard trade with a kid for Pokemon Blue. Somehow I also got Silver. I didn't get very. I got as far as the Unknown Cave and then just got completely lost in the unknown cave and never finished Silver.
I have a lot of empty Game Boy cases because I have everything in a binder.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, since I bought because like if you buy like trading card sleeves, like the pages of like 9, you could fit regular Game Boy and Game Boy Color games in there. Game Boy Advance, I get the same type of pages, but they're built for business cards. They don't fit them too tightly, so they end up falling out. But I mean, it's better than nothing. But yeah, Fleet and Box F1 race. I think it has the multi-tap in here too.
Yeah, I think we had the multi-tap, but I don't think
the multi-tap's in there.
Nice. I don't think we ever like had a friend who also had the game to ever use the multi-tap for anything.
Yeah, all in there. And I think I took the game out and just have it in one of the things there. But yeah, I think I got this at a comic convention for like $10. It was like in a box of stuff. Nice. It was like, I have no prices on this. And I said, what will you give me for this? He's like, $10. I was like, sure. The box is a little squished here, but I mean, like that's a clean box. You don't see Game Boy boxes like at all.
Yeah, not really. I don't know if I've seen many at all.
And then I had random DS and 3DS games in there.
These ones here handy that have been like displayed, but also red doesn't work. So
yeah,
I need to go in and see if it's the battery, but I also need to like buy a battery. I have a screwdriver to crack these open.
Got like Between Worlds on 3DS. The one game that I beat that I didn't get any blue or red mail. They were apparently in the game. I think Shiro told me afterwards. He's like, "You beat that whole thing without getting armor upgrade?" And I said, "There's armor upgrades." I was like,
"Armor upgrades." Yeah. I think I own Link Between the Worlds. I've never really gotten into it.
That's fun.
One of those.
The rental system's kind of weird, where like you have to like get a whole bunch of rupees and go rent the stuff, and then once you beat the cave, it's like, oh, you can keep it. It's like a permanent unlock. So here's the 16-player mode of Faceball 2000. Can't be enabled because it requires a special cable that Nintendo didn't approve of. Okay.
Interesting.
I want to say like his Derek's quest to do it. I think someone made a cable for it. I'm not sure. Yeah. I ended up finding that in there too. I got Dragon Quest 8 on 3DS. Although this one has like the really bad music tracks. It has like the MIDI stuff and not the orchestral stuff that the PS2 one has. The sequel to that comes out this week I'm super stoked for that. Theme remake Final Fantasy. It's playing a little bit of the demo, and that has like songs from 2, 5, 7, my favorite 13, and 15. And then like they're gonna have DLC in the future for like Live Alive and Chrono Trigger. I was like, oh man, I'm totally on for that. I don't know why I'm showing these off. It was just buried underneath the or on this. These were buried. These were buried on top of the F1 box, but that's a copy of.
That I do remember the game F1 race. That's how we got onto this tangent.
Yeah, I have episode 3 on the Nintendo DS, which this was a score because back in the day, like I got this at a thrift store, and in that was a GBA cart. So basically got 2 games for the price of 1. You don't get those anymore. Because I think like thrift stores are now like super focused on like scouring and then, you know, price charting. It was like, oh shit, we gotta put this behind glass.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a label. The label was missing on it, so I didn't know what the game was. So I booted it up, and it was like a Yu-Gi-Oh GX game. I made a YouTube video of it. My coworkers teased me about it. It's like, you're super excited for that. I was like, dude, it wasn't a sports game, and it wasn't like one of those Ubisoft, like, you know, pet your dog games. It was like something decent.
Yeah, but now that we have Game Boy Advance on Switch, maybe they could translate and release Mother 3 finally.
Yeah, that's what Simon was saying. How much of a fuck you would it be if they were just like, no, it's going on the Japanese version?
Yeah. Good lord.
That would be crazy. I would half expect that to be like an announcement at like E3. They're just like, all right, we finally did it. Mother 3 translated here.
Sorry, what's E3?
All right.
Like, literally no one
here's like,
we'll have the Keighley Summer thing, and everyone will probably have an around then. But at this point, I think E3 is dead, honestly.
But when someone was saying to me, was like, "Oh, Nintendo's not going," I'm like, Nintendo hasn't gone for the last. Well, I mean, like for conferences, they haven't gone for like the last like 12 years, like 06, 07 or something like that. That's when they started doing their.
Also,
directs.
Microsoft and also Sony have pulled out. So.
Mother 3 only for the Japanese Game Boy Online, and it includes an English translation. Yeah.
Then just make a Japanese account.
Oh, I have. I've downloaded. Oh, yeah, that's the thing too. I've got both versions of the new apps. The only difference is on the Game Boy, there's like this Mahjong game, and I can't play Mahjong, so I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
The only other thing I found
Mahjong solitaire or like actual Mahjong.
I have. I don't know. It was 1v1.
The one where you're just trying to match two. Oh, okay, I was saying, is it the one where you're trying to just like match tiles, or is it actually? Because it's like it's a whole like it seems like a Jin Rummy type game. I don't know actual Mahjong. I haven't played enough Yakuza to actually know how Mahjong works.
Last one I have to show off there is I have a copy of Ultimate World Combat on DS. Like probably like the best port of Ultimate MVC3, like outside of that 360 version that came out. Also has Puzzle Combat in there. A weird version, but it was like one of the best ones there. Yeah. And that was a little segment I like to call shit that's in my drawers.
I think we need to rename that segment. I'm excited from the direct.
I just thought about it.
We're getting a re-release of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, because that is a game I've been meaning to play for so long, and I don't have it on DS. And it's just like, I don't know if I want to play this on my phone. Oh shit, it's coming to Switch. Perfect. I'm waiting for that one.
There's two GameCube RPGs that are coming out. The Batten Kaitos, yeah. Those are getting re-released. There's like
Disney. Sorry, go ahead.
There's like 3 RPGs, like they're dungeon RPGs. I think they're on the DS. Those are getting remade as well.
Yeah, Etria something.
I don't know. I have to consult.
I have a Polygon list when it's not in order, so
I have to consult my
they don't even have
RPG consultant. They're probably just like fucking dungeon RPG.
They didn't even put it on this thing of like, here's every game except for these.
Yeah. The game Mahjong game's called Yakuman. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So then we thought of like the possibilities of games that could come out for it. I'm like Zelda: Link to the Past, so that way we can have 4 swords and actually play online without having to gobble up like multiple carts and such. Obviously,
ready
can't
for
do
the
Advance
next-
Wars because they're doing the reboot on that in the next couple of months. So yeah,
Get
that
ready for me
mother.
to hammer you guys with another game, another narrative game, by the way. Because I'm honestly really looking forward to Harmony: The Fall of Reverie. New game from Don't Not, the guys who did Life is Strange and Tell Me Why. That looks really interesting to me. And like the soundtrack is being done by the Celeste composer.
Okay.
I was like, yep, I'm here for this. Also, that Disney game looked really adorable.
Oh yeah.
Like the one done in that like What Happened Mickey style. I don't know what that show was called. I just know like a couple of clips I've seen. Yeah.
And also
I'm sure someone's
too,
gonna correct me in chat.
yeah, something else happened over the bit. I am now the proud owner of a PlayStation 5 finally.
Nice.
My GameStop was doing a sale where it was like, hey, if you trade in your PlayStation 4, we'll give you credit towards a PS5. And I hummed a little bit and I was like, well, wait, can I actually afford this? I'm counting down all my stuff there. I was like, yep. So I ended up taking all my stuff, like physical games that I had digitally. I don't know why they were still there. So traded them all in, money left over from Christmas and birthday. And I think I spent like out of my own pocket, I spent $280 on it. And I got God of War Ragnarok out of it. So
nice.
And I ordered an adapter because I was like, at first I was also too like, okay, what do I do with my PSVR? Because it'll pretty much be useless. But they give you an there's their adapter. I can't get it anymore from Sony apparently, but there's third-party ones I can get off of Amazon, which have decent reviews. So I get that because I still have like, there's a few games I have the gun for, which is sitting on my floor over there. Like Farpoint, like Firewall, Zero Hour, and Doom VFR that I wanted to try out before I, put the VR headset out the pasture. But yeah, I haven't played anything on it yet, other than I buy this $800 PlayStation 5 system, and the first thing I boot up is a game that premiered on the PlayStation 1, Symphony of the Night. I just wanted to see if my I just wanted to see if my save files transferred, and I got a little scared because they didn't. I was like, shit, what do I do? I was like, go through here, PlayStation Plus, cloud save, just convert everything to the hard drive. And I was like, yes. And shout outs to Tom when I told everyone, I got my PS5, which I play on it first, and with the Kappa, he's like, PT, and I'm like, I already played PT. It was on my PS4, which maybe if I told the guy at GameStop, I was like, hey, I got PT on this. Does that up the value anymore? But he already told me, he's like, oh, they wipe everything off when they get it to the warehouse. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, just because you need to not have personal information.
Well, I signed out of my PlayStation account before I took it in, and I didn't know how to wipe it. I was like, wait, where's the erase all things here? Oh, it's not there? Okay. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna do did I have an external? Yes. I have an external hard drive. I don't know if the game saved on there will convert over. But everyone's telling me, it's like, oh, wait for the 3-hour setup, and I was like, it took me 20 minutes. Probably because I didn't have anything transferred over.
Oh yeah, mine is gonna be super easy because I don't have a PS4 if I get one. I'm thinking about it, but like,
yeah, I mean,
oh, cool. Check out all these PS3 games you own. Where were you last generation?
It's like I was playing other stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do.
I was on the other console. I have the mini fridge and like 2 Xbox Ones in this house.
I gotta get rid of one of them, but there's like no trade. There's no trade-in value on an Xbox One. There's absolutely none.
I'm sure.
Like on an old G1, like old VCR one, no.
Oh god, yeah, no. Like a 1S maybe, but
the 1X maybe give you a little bit of value, but yeah.
But I don't want to get rid of my 1X.
Oh no, I'm probably not getting rid of that. The 1X is Melanie's. That's in her office. She plays. That's what she had. That's her Disney Dreamlight Valley and Minecraft, or not Minecraft. Fuck, what do we play? Fortnite machine.
Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and now Halo.
Why would I get rid of my 1X when it's so beautiful?
Yeah, jelly. I'm jelly. Yeah,
Literally the only reason I have it is because the 1S was acting up so bad. It's like games were just completely crashing on, or not games, but like my controllers were just like not staying connected and load times were super slow. It's like I need to look into an upgrade. It was before the Series X had been announced, and this was like the only one in stock, and I had to go up to Portland's. It was the weirdest shit. I've talked about this before, but it was Memorial Day weekend, but it was the first year of the pandemic Memorial Day weekend. On a Saturday at noontime, I've never seen Portland. I've never seen less people in Portland before. Especially, like, Memorial Day is the beginning of tourist season. It was fucking eerie. Just have, like, no traffic at all. Parking is fine. Like,
it's kind of like that with
cars on the road, period. It's just like,
you know what, I
hate this.
You know what I saw that was kind of eerie as the footage of the Kansas City Chiefs celebrating their Super Bowl win. Like, the streets, like, there were people there, but it's not the kind of full that you would expect from a Super Bowl championship team. It's kind of it kind of just looks like I'm sorry, it looked like a Santa Claus parade crowd. They're just like, yeah, you did it.
Not everyone can be Vancouver or Philadelphia, where it's like a thing happened with our sports team in the playoffs. Burn everything. we won. Light shit on fire. We lost. Light shit on fire.
I want to say that was a basketball reference. It's like, oh yeah, fans celebrate their victory. The final body count: 23 injured, 3 dead. Although Kansas City looked a little bit more lively in that compilation than it did with Last of Us, which again we're gonna I gotta stop myself from talking about it because we're gonna talk about it in a couple of weeks. But I'll tell you this right now, man, this show was good. I'm probably gonna go on record and say it right now: best video game adaptation of all time. This is beating out Mortal Kombat.
Send you a picture real quick. Just while we're talking about the sports thing, and then we'll move on. At least from the sports part of the discussion. Pull up that picture. Because I distinctly remember this picture. Yeah, look at the riot police and 2 people who have fallen in love. And I saw an article. Apparently, as of 2021, they're still together, which is awesome. Do you know what's happening in this picture?
I can't. I don't remember.
2011, when Vancouver lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals to the Bruins. Look at this shit. They lost a sports game, and you needed this much police presence. Jesus. Okay, that was just the point. Was about, like, cities like Philly and cities like Vancouver. We won, burn it. We lost, burn it. No, it's a beautiful picture. Like it definitely got a lot of play, like, when it happened. And the article that I saw was from 2021, and they're still together. So
Sound Hero says this is art.
It is. It's a fantastic photo. Like,
this is a work of art.
I want to pull it back up just to see, like, who was the photographer. Does it say? Rich Lamb, and it was sold to Getty Images. Like, perfect picture.
Yeah, so I mean, what else happened between the last show and this one? A lot more has happened. Like, we actually did, like, we haven't done one of these in a long time, but we did a watch along of a WWE pay-per-view, and I'm kind of glad that we did, because watching the Rumble there,
great time.
And, like, I kind of like, I don't like commit myself to sitting down and watching wrestling anymore. Like I don't have any time, but I will try to catch clips as they come, and I try to keep up to date with other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty familiar with what was going on with the whole Bloodline, Sami Zayn angle, and man, like, that's perfect long-term storytelling. And what they're doing right now with Sami, Roman, and with Cody, and as well, because Cody's like, he's got to be that de facto choice. I'm glad that they're not doing the whole Batista thing where it's just like, no, this is our choice. It's just like, yeah, I recognize I'm the choice, but I also recognize that Sami Zayn's hot right now, so big ups to him and best of luck in Montreal.
Yeah.
That ending statement, 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. Yeah. It's gonna be fun to see because the pay-per-view Elimination Chambers this Saturday, and
oh dang,
Friday I'm gonna it'll be interesting how Jimmy and Jay are getting written off from the pay-per-view because they legally can't enter Canada for the amount of DUIs they have.
I think I saw that maybe they've been cleared, but that was also from Meltzer, so who knows?
Yeah.
And I mean, push comes to shove, they have Solo, which will not have the same impact, but
No.
you know.
No, we'll have to wait and see. All right.
What else has been going on? Well, I mean, I've had shit going on. What have you been up to in the past month and a half? I'll let you go first, because I've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I mean, like for me, you know, life goes on. Work goes on. I've been playing a lot of off cam or off stream. Been playing a lot of Fortnite, and also for one of my extra life, we've been playing. I've been playing Final Fantasy 13, capturing footage for that for my eventual old school angry reviewer review, but it's going to be different. Man, going back and re-experiencing that game and the storyline. This is like my 3rd playthrough ever, because I did the one where I had that as a punishment, and now I'm doing it as a review. So going through and like just like I'm trying to remember what's more inseparable, like Hope trying to get up to Kurt to tell Snow that like I hate you because I think you inadvertently killed my mom, but my mom did it of her own free will, so I'm kind of a dummy. But or Titus like taking the entire game to tell his dad that he hates him, and he's just like, yeah, I hate you too. Shit.
I've never played 13, and I didn't get that far into 10. Sadly, I was underleveled and completely stuck on Seymour, and did not have a save I could go back to like properly level, so I just gave up.
Okay. I think on my last playthrough, I used Yojimbo. I think I like slipped him like 30,000 gil, and he one-shot Seymour.
Oh no, I don't think I knew about that at all.
So. I never knew about it either. I was just like, I got Yojimbo here, you know, because like he's got like those. Are we talking about the boss battle where he's got like the 4 orbs to like buff him and attack, or?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Because like you fight Seymour at least 4 or 5 times in that game.
It was
each time it's like
still on PS2.
Yeah, we beat him. Yuna, send him. Why aren't you sending him? I told you to send him. Why are you just sitting there? They're carrying his body away. Do your little dance. Send him. Fucking right. You deserve everything you get.
I don't recall.
Who voices Seymour again? I don't know.
I'll look it up, but I don't recall. Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. Fortnite. I've been playing the hell out of Hot Wheels Unleashed to get ready for my game day on Saturday. Because when I go through that Rubble City thing and unlock all the pieces to build a track, because apparently you gotta do all that. Because like I was watching Eric do it, and a guy who knows the game was in his chat and saying like, oh, you can't do that, you can't flip it upside down until you get like the magnet parts, and he hadn't played enough of it yet. So I was like, okay, that means I gotta really step up and get everything unlocked. Plus I had to get the DeLorean unlocked because you put that as the the schedule.
I knew you were hosting, so I try to like personally use images when I can.
Yeah,
when I do those. Like if it's Robe, I'll try to do like someone red. If it's Javo, I'll try to do someone green, depending on the game.
Yeah.
If someone's doing Fortnite, I'll try to grab a skin that someone's done, because we do it so often. I don't want to just use the same image every time if I can help it. I like changing it up. I like having it be different.
What else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I've been doing the other incentive thing I had to do, which is I have 3 games in like they're made by Mainframe Entertainment back in the 90s. Yeah. I think I put the self roll in now that I give myself 2 streams minimum. If the game is utter dog shit, I have the right to tap out. I forgot how bad Beast Wars was. And it sucks because my machine, my PS1 Classic, I can't get the other Beast Wars game running on it, Transmetals. which is the better one because it's an arena fighter, and it has like the actual voice cast in there. Yeah, it was a Blockbuster exclusive for both the 64 and the PlayStation 1, but the PlayStation 1 one's a little bit better.
I wonder if PCSX2 would work, because that's like a PS2 emulator, so it should work.
Probably have to do it on that. Plus two, because and I have the controller here. The PS1 classic controllers are complete utter garbage. And I just moved my 8-bit DOA one there. Like, so like the shoulder buttons are like especially like in Beast Wars, I use these for like strafing, and like this one started to stick. And it was just like, I'm firing at someone. It's like, okay, what? It's like, why are you still running, Megatron? Why are you still running? Oh, you're in lava and I'm dead.
I haven't played much with the classic, honestly, just because like I think I would need more parts for the like really customized or really like doing the customs. I did a little bit, but not enough. And if I use the thumb drive for it, I don't know where that's. But because it was when my GameStop or one of my GameStops was closing, they had wireless ones for the classic for really cheap. So I just have 2 of these.
My wife said, "See more butts." No,
because
not that. God, was it Family Business? Was that the show with Seymour Butts in it?
I don't know. Along the Extra Life line, so I've been slowly working through my last thing from last year, which was what I called Quest for the Mask. I'm getting up to King's Quest 8 Mask of Eternity, which I've never played before because it doesn't play well on Windows unless you do a laundry list of very specific things to put the right drivers in, because it's a Win95 game. And Windows 10 and 11 hate Windows 95 and 98 games. But man, every time I forget how much I hate King's Quest 3, and I think that was a big delay of me playing to stream. It's like, I don't want to play this game. I'm not in the mood to play King's Quest 3.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood to sit around and fucking wait for this game to happen. Shout out. Again, I've read Ken's book. It's sitting behind me. Ken Williams, the former CEO of and like founder of Sierra. In his book, he specifically has a thing that says like, if a player is interacting with the game in like 7 seconds, they're losing, you're gonna lose their attention. They're not gonna care anymore, essentially. So why the fuck did you put in a 15-minute real-time wait while you're stuck on a pirate ship, and the only thing you need to do during that time is climb a ladder, get your stuff back, and then climb back down and wait? I think also you can get a shovel, but like, like there's so little to do. I mean, it's funnier in the speedrun version because any percent you break the game to where you don't actually like dispose of the wizard Manannan. But it also means that when you get to the ship, you have about 8 seconds until he'll show up and kill you, unless you get onto one very specific screen. But once you're on that screen, you have to just stand there for 15 real minutes. It's like, usually they're like, I want to pull up another game over here. We're going to start listening to Ocean Man by Ween. It's like, we have time to kill. I'm going to speedrun King's Quest 1 while I wait for King's Quest 3 to continue.
I'm trying to think what else has been going on in the last little bit there. I said this week we started up playing Halo. Melody's never played a Halo campaign. I've been keeping track of how many times she team kills me, because that's gonna be a funny TikTok. I swear to God, it'd be like, I'll get the robot. I'll get Kate to go, how many times does my wife team kill me? I think we're up to 7. But to be fair, I accidentally got her on one too. A lone sticky grenade right in the back of her head.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to do in Halo.
The thing, and I didn't realize either, is that so we had gotten to we are on the mission where we have to like go through the 3 pillars to try and destroy Halo, and then we have to, the next chapter is keys, and then the next one is to overload the reactor, get off of the Pillar of Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, and Wordman clipped this greatly because it's called Banshee 5, The Final Frontier, because I'm naming all my parts of Banshee betrayals and shit after Star Trek.
Fair.
So at some point you have to fly up on Banshees to get to like the other parts. So I fly up, I get out. All right. There's a brute here, there's a elite here, and there's a grunt. I gotta take care of them. Melanie comes in. She gets out of her Banshee, and the Banshee like hits mine. It does like a twist and flicks me off the platform. I fall to my death. That somehow glitches the game where it won't respawn me, even if she's not in danger. So I was like, okay, you're gonna have to play without me for a little bit. So she destroys the second one. She's like, all right, that's two. We'll have to go on. Then she starts flying around. Like, all right. And after a while, it's still not working. I was like, all right, just hop it out, die, and then we'll start over. And fair, okay. Die, respawn. We're at before the first pillar. I was like, fuck, are you set that far back? It didn't save?
343Y.
So I was like, okay, we're gonna. Then I was like, okay, we're not beating this tonight. We're good. All right, so shut down. Come to find out, another cool secret. You play online co-op, you can't save at a checkpoint. You gotta start the whole goddamn chapter over again. So we gotta start that chapter over again next time we play.
So you got 3 levels to go.
Yeah. So that'll take us another stream to do. Which sucks because I was hoping to get it all done in one shot. We're playing on easy because like I don't know if it was you and I that were doing co-op before. Because we were going through all the Halos. I was co-oping with someone. We did Halo 1 in one go.
Yeah. I think it was us because I think you and I did the Halos and like we're joined by like rotating cast.
For like 3 and 4
Eric,
and
yeah. And then it was Eric and I who did Gears.
Yeah.
Because I had never played a Gears.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I did Ultimate at one point. So maybe you started over again with Eric, but yeah, that's kind of the plan.
I've like done multiplayer, but I've just like never done any of the story ever.
Yeah.
Like even as a kid, for some reason, I just didn't, or a young adult, I guess, I just had never played the Gears franchise for some reason. I think a friend brought it over, and it's like I don't get it. I like Halo more.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good time, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. We're probably going to take a break from it because I'm going to start up God of War Ragnarok, and that's like a 30-hour playthrough just for the story. Like the side stuff there, it takes you. I was just like, maybe I'll do like one little side thing here, but I think I'm just going to go straight through to the story. I've been pretty good to avoid spoilers on it, so.
Yeah, I have not, but that's because Stumps streamed it, like Jazz streamed it, so I've seen. I didn't see every single moment, but I've seen most of the game. I've seen the ending. It's really good. It's really good. I really want to play it myself, even though I've seen the story already.
All right, I think that's it for me. Unless you've got. But I think you wanted to go over your Portland trip.
Yeah, so that's been the big thing for me. I mean, offline is just like, did I finish anything? I felt like I finished a game. Go to Patrick's thing here. I finished something. Oh, I finished Hades. I started a Hades playthrough for his How Many Can We Beat?
Okay.
Run his channel. It took me 30 tries to get to credits. Which technically there's still more to do because there's like a secret ending, but I was just like, no, credits. That counts as it.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember if I've done better. I definitely did better getting the first one against Hades. Like when we streamed it, it took me 9. It took me like 12, I think, for this run. But then at that point, it's like I don't need to up the difficulty here. I don't need to. I'm not proving anything to anyone. I'm not. This is not a file I'm planning to like 100%. Don't 100% Hades.
Yeah.
It's literally pointless to 100% Hades. Get the secret ending. Get the stuff you want to unlock. Maybe get the statues if you feel like it. Don't 100% it. Listen to Virgin. Listen to Gerard. Because there's this whole thing where you have to just like give tons of extra supplies to earn weird little ranks that just sit next to your health bar and do nothing else, and you get nothing for finishing it. It is just there as a thing to do if you want to. Don't do it. It is just a waste of time. It is literally there to waste your time. Sea of Thieves. I did buy Red Dead 2 finally
Hmm.
to get back to it because you know I got as far as Saint Denis in when it was on Game Pass and it came off, and then I saw it on sale for like the whole thing. I was like, well, what if I just want the story mode? I don't necessarily want online because Rockstar doesn't give a shit about their online for this.
Yeah.
Oh, right now it's more expensive to just buy the story. I'm gonna buy buy the whole game, I guess. I think it was like 75% off that weekend, so I was like, yeah, all right. But yeah, then I went to Portland, Oregon. We can talk about airports and planes. Turns into the Rooster Teeth podcast. I
Isn't
guess
it
the
weird that you
broadest
only
thing to
see?
say.
Isn't it weird that you only see it in your area?
Pretty sure I saw construction at most of the airports, one way or another.
Mhm.
But the biggest thing is like airports are very similar. Like even down to decor, and a lot of times, except for maybe like the carpet pattern, you know it's a utility building, so they make it all look very similar. But uh, actually, Minneapolis probably had the nicest airport. That was my layover on the way back. Also, between the two, if I had the option between the two, the plane was a lot nicer when I did a nearly nonstop flight from Boston to Seattle. Then I had to do a little shitty flight from Seattle to Portland.
Yeah, I hate layovers. I'd rather if
But
any point I can get a direct flight, I will take it.
for sheer exhaustion, I think I would rather have a layover because we were, I mean, we got up at like 4, maybe 5 to get there and then we got into like it was a little after 1 when we got into Portland, after like a very brief layover in Seattle. We were fucking exhausted. We were like, let's stop at this mall because our Airbnb had a big like soaking tub, and it was like, oh, here's this mall. They have a Lego store, which I wanted to check out because we don't have a Lego store here. We also have a Lush, so we can get like bath bombs to make the soaking tub more enjoyable.
Okay.
Lush wasn't open. It was still like coming soon, even though Lush's website, the mall's website, and Google all said it was open. No, it wasn't. It was, it had the walls up with like coming soon with pictures of Lush,
Okay.
but it wasn't actually open. It's like, fuck you. I'm so tired. Went to the Lego store, and then on the way back, we're like, I'm really hungry because they gave us breakfast at like 8, and now it's essentially like 4 or 5 if it's our time. Fuck it. Here, let's get the thing here. And I will say, she ordered, they had like a lunch or dinner portion of a salad. She got the dinner portion, it was gigantic and way too much. And she had to she ate like a third, took about a third of it home because the last third didn't fit in the box. But of any cheeseburger I had, that was probably the best one because it was the one that was the most seasoned. No one else really likes salt or peppered the beef for some reason. So like this one burger at this one place, maybe it's just because I was really tired and really hungry, but it was the best tasting one, even though I went to like a local chain, a local restaurant. There's one from a Mexican place because I'm a baby and my palate is terrible.
Mhm.
And there wasn't anything I really wanted at the Mexican place. So I was like, oh, they make a burger. That'll work. So shout out to the best tasting burger I had in Portland, Oregon at the Cheesecake Factory. It was in the mall and it was food. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is gonna be weird. I don't care.
You're an early season episode. You're an early
go
season.
home or like go to our Airbnb and just crash for the day.
You're like an
And I
early
was up, like,
seasons episode
8.
of Big Bang Theory. It's like every time I see them at the Cheesecake Factory, they're ordering everything other than cheesecake. I was like, you're getting pizzas and hamburgers, or like what?
We didn't get cheesecake either because we were just so tired. We're just like, I don't care. let's just go before we're literally falling asleep in this booth because we still need to drive back to the Airbnb. Oh, that was a nightmare too. I'm gonna say the worst day that we had in Portland was the first day, just because we were super tired. The rental car was a nightmare. We didn't do anything except for that mall trip, and then like we didn't get done what we want to get done while we were there. Like it sucks. Um,
Sometimes traveling, those are the funnest trips though. You just like, I'm just gonna go to this mall. But then
Yeah.
you get there and you're just like,
It-
well, you have all the same stores I do, except you have a second floor to yours.
oh, again, they had a Lego store, and I'd love to show you what I got, but we didn't check any bags. We just had carry-ons. We didn't have room for most of what we bought in our duffels. So we shipped them to ourselves, and they'll be here on Friday.
Okay.
I can show you a picture, but I don't have it handy. But I got more because that's the botanical collection is my jam now. Like I'm in love with those.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that night I just ordered Pizza Hut because like I can't get Pizza Hut at home because there's not one close enough anymore. So I'm just getting a personal pan. Joe had her salad and like ordered her some breadsticks.
Yeah.
I was like, it's terrible that our first day in Portland we've had 2 chain restaurants. Ones we can't easily get where we're at, but 2 chain restaurants felt terrible. But I don't think we visited another chain and leaving. So, yeah. And then the next day we went to Powell City of Books. It's another one of those. I want to show you this because it's so wild. They're kind of not kidding with the name. I don't know exactly how I can get it to you. Here's Powell's. Okay. Do web capture somehow. Here, I will send this to your Twitter, but huge bookstore with tons of stuff. And we didn't get anywhere near any of it. There, another picture for you to pull up, and I'll explain what the hell I'm talking about.
This one in the DM?
Yep, the newest one in the DM.
Okay. Let me flip over.
This is the map of Powell City of Books. It's a small image, but you see that building that takes up that entire city block?
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing is Powell City of Books. It is the entire block.
This right here, the yellow? Or
no,
like the two
including
parts
the stuff
of
in the back. The whole thing.
Wow.
That entire building is one bookstore. It's bonkers. And we didn't get I don't think we got anywhere close to seeing the whole thing. We only got 4 rooms. I think there were still 4 more at least, including one with really old books. So another time we will explore it more. But we checked that out. We got a bunch of books. The ones I have handy right here. I don't have handy next to me, but I found the old Halo graphic novel from early 2000s probably.
Nice. Like that was on the Discord there.
Yeah, and Saga. Yeah, what are you talking about? It's there too. Saga Volume 10 because I've been following this for a while, and then the writer took like 2 years off, like right on a massive cliffhanger. It's like, God damn it, Brian, why do you do this to me?
What is Saga?
I also got Sid Meier's memoir, which is called like Sid Meier's memoir with an exclamation point. Sid Meier did Civ, Sim Golf, like has been around in computer games forever. And I also got a graphic novel. Pardon me.
Sculptor
recommended by Woody, the sculptor. Yeah, I remember Woody recommending it a while ago, and it's forever. And I was like, I'm at all these graphic novels. I'll find this. Although it was really funny finding the like here's the adult section essentially. Like go to this aisle for the adult section when else we can't graphic novels, but it specifically said like for children's go to this lane, and like for comics go to this one. For hentai go to here in the lock case. Okay, I mean they know what people are looking for. I'm not sugarcoating it at all. Nope.
Not until you're older.
Yeah.
By Fox McCloud.
We checked out a couple of classic. One was classic. Toy stores in the area. I can't remember called. One was Billy Galaxy, and that one was kind of cool because that was actually old stuff, like 70s, 80s, like a lot of like I think there's a lot of Trek, some Star Wars, Transformers,
Nice.
a lot of like Nintendo stuff. The only thing that really tempted me, just because like price, I think prices were a little, or they're high for what I would have paid. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say they were probably high for the items. They were just like, yeah, we probably shouldn't spend that much money on this thing. Like they had old
Mhm.
D&D books for like 200. Yeah, I think they
Mhm.
actually had one of the box sets for like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons in Japanese for $200. And it's like,
Wow.
I wouldn't like, I would buy that as a curiosity because I can't use it. It's in Japanese, but it's really cool. But I'm not going to spend $200 on something I can't use. I'm also not going to spend $75 on a B game, even if it is like an original Game and Watch game.
Uh,
It's like it's $75 for a blackjack LCD game, even if it's a Game and Watch. It's like
yeah.
that's a lot for what it is,
I
even with the historical
I
value.
will. Yeah, I will personally say like for those old school Coleco tabletop arcade games like Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Frogger.
Mm.
Those I used to find those at garage sales for like a quarter, and now they're like $90, $100. Like,
I think he actually had one of those, but I didn't see a price, but I think I do remember seeing one of those. But like, it was a lot of that kind of stuff. Honestly, I forgot to get pictures. And then there was another one in the area, and I called off the top of my head. See if I can find it. But that was smaller than I expected, and it was a lot of newer stuff. The oldest stuff was maybe some like classic Turtles stuff. A lot of which is like newer, like Marvel Legends, a lot of Funko,
mhm.
some wrestling toys. It's, it's all like, yeah, it's fine, but he was charging so much for it. Like, I think the thing that I noticed that I was primo toys. The thing that I saw that I just kind of laughed and watched, there's nothing here for me. Was like, I don't know if it was a chase, but he had an AEW Sting figure. He wanted $50. It's just like,
Like,
there's no way this
just came
figure is
out.
worth $50.
Yeah.
Like, at most, this thing is 2 years old. Unless it's like a chase figure, I
Yeah.
don't understand what $50 for this
Real
shit
sweat?
about.
No, not the real
That's
sweat.
some sweat. Oh.
I gotta pull up an image for people who don't know what these are.
Or did we edit in? Did we actually? I forgot to watch the Madden Super Bowl prediction. Did we actually edit in the pictures? Because I found pictures for everyone. Go back to the Super Bowl prediction video, or it would be in the Jimbo Sports Health channel.
Okay.
The fucking Road Dog ones. Yeah, they're so hideous.
No, that's not what
You did, sweet, cool, okay.
Yeah. So like they're just like gigantic. They look like WWF All Stars characters. But they're like a little water ball you're supposed to inject water into, and they're like, oh, they really sweat.
Push a button and they sweat it out. I never bought one of these. I saw no, like, even as a kid, I was just like, these look bad, and that's weird and gross.
Right, this was at the time of the Attitude Era where they were selling, like, you put a WWF thing out there, it would sell.
Unless you do an Al Snow figure with head and put it into Walmart, and then they take the entire line out of Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, because of dog. All right, Woody.
Good night,
Talk to you
Woody.
later. I think that was about it for that day. The next day, what did we do? Shoot. I was gonna write all this down and I forgot to do it just to like keep track. Oh no, that wasn't the last thing we did that day. So went to a park called Mount Tabor and watched the sunset, which was fucking magical. I think the next day was when we had brunch with one of the other stumped moms, and we then went to a little bakery, which was fucking astounding. Shout out to Champagne Poetry in Portland. It was an amazing little. It was like Japanese French fusion baking. It's really, really good. Like cheesecake with ube, sweet potato in it. Like it was. Like I got this gorgeous like rose pastry. I need to like actually make a. I have not made a tweet about any of, or like a tweet chain about any of this. Yet. I mean, I'll do it tomorrow, but I have to write about this.
Yeah.
And then kind of homebodied for a bit for a couple days. I'll talk to you about it later, Johnny. It's not a thing I really want to talk about on the podcast. The
All right.
next day was when we went to ground control, which was awesome. Going in order, because this I was like, no, I need to document the games we play. So because of my own character. Joe and I played Third Strike. She almost got me in a couple rounds, but I wound up defeating her in Third
Oh,
Strike
sorry.
and then lost like the second round. She found Dr. Mario, and unlike when we went to Fun Spot, someone was not parking on Dr. Mario all day, so she got to play a game of that.
Nice.
She doesn't like it because she doesn't like the joystick as opposed to a D-pad, which I totally get. I played Punch Out, and then Atari Star Wars, and then this would have been where the video would have come in because that's when I found her playing Miss Pac-Man in Turbo mode.
Which Star Wars was it?
Atari Star Wars, like the old 80s.
Oh, okay, the vector graphics one.
Yes, it's a stand-up cabinet, but yeah,
Nice. I've never actually played that one before.
Yeah, it's not bad. We found a Killer Queen machine. We've played Killer Queen Black on here before. Unfortunately, I think at this point it is dead. I think they have pulled Killer Queen Black down at this point, which is unfortunate. It's a great game, but it's also it's kind of tough to find like 10 people to play. That's why we didn't play it. It's like we don't have enough people, and no one else is on this machine. Oh, let me send you this picture. I promise I'm not gonna inundate you too much with vacation picture. You'll want to see this one. There you go, link is in your DMs. The next game we played, I'll skip that one for now. We found Baby Pac-Man, which I've never fucking heard of, and is because it is part arcade game, part pinball machine. So if you go out any of the shortcuts in the maze, it takes you down lower to a pinball machine. So you play that for a while, and then put you back in the maze until you die. It was so weird. And then we played the electromagnetic Pong game.
I got it on the screen here now.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was fun, but like the controls are not as responsive as you think they'd be, so it was really hard. But it is wild to play a Pong game where everything is actually a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, every time we go to an arcade, we have to find a weird Pong game. Last time it was Pong doubles.
Yeah, at some point there, I gotta I haven't been to our barcade in a while, and they just said that they got a sit down Crazy Taxi machine. I was like,
nice.
I gotta play that.
I'm pretty sure I played that like at the roller rink when I was a kid. But for this trip, just a couple more games. I played Addams Family. Joe played Doctor Who machines. Joe found Mr. Do. We played some Soul Calibur 2, except for some reason, and I don't understand this. I was like, I'll go through single player, but we're kind of running out of time. Marking. For some reason, multiplayer, it was best 2 out of 3. Single player, best 4 out of 7.
Yeah, you told me that.
Just like,
what?
I don't have time. I literally don't have time to beat this because I would have loved to have like put that picture of like I beat Soul Calibur 2 on arcade. But no, I'm stage 3. Like that picture is when I was leaving. Essentially, it was like stage 3 and 2. It's just, we have no time. I just want to go play this one machine and then we have to go. And that last machine was Tetris the Grandmaster 3. Because yeah, I can't remember if they released that machine in America. So just like, no, I have to play some TGM because it's here. And then that takes us to one of our last full days, I think. Yeah, I think so. If I'm missing a thing. Yeah, no, that does. So we actually had brunch with Anna and Jazz from Stumped, and then we hit the coast, which was a gorgeous drive because you have to like go through the mountains to get there. And then just being able to see the Pacific Ocean and like the rocks at Cannon Beach in Oregon are gigantic. Like it's it's familiar because it's just a beach, but at the same time, basically seeing a rock, not the size of a mountain, but like several stories high. It's just this is weird, and I love it.
Nice.
And then we, came home, stopped in Milwaukee. Actually, We were going to stop at like a Smash Burger, but it was closed. It was like, nope, we're going to the Minnesota Twins Cafe in the airport, where there's the MLB logo in bat tops on one wall
And
and
that's
like
your sports
signed
bar.
jerseys. Yep, it literally is like a team sports bar, but it was like, this is a thing that's gonna have food, so let's have this. 'Cause I don't know if we knew if they were gonna service actual food. That was a whole thing too. Actually, was like every flight, because we first class the whole way for comfort, because we're big people. I don't want to be stuffed in a 3-seat on a plane with a stranger. Fuck that. So we just first class the whole way. But like they, the meals they served us were all in like glass trays. It's like, yeah, something happens to this plane, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Just have this sheet of glass and
I don't think I've ever flown on a plane that had classes. It was just like stuffy in there and away you go.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was like a first class thing, that they're actually giving you glassware and not not like plastic cups. Yep. There are definitely like times of rough air where it's like, I very carefully hold on to my glass of soda. Also, I've heard that like ginger ale is a super common thing, and I thought I'd heard that it tastes better if you're on a plane. No, it's a little. It's very slightly more mild. But it's just ginger ale. I don't know. I don't get the hype of. I guess like if you're really sick, hey, ginger. Well, there's like barely any ginger ale really, but yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have like a noise suppression? It shouldn't be a noise suppression go through.
I shouldn't. No, I have voice mod on voice enhancer. Maybe I was too hard to my cord, but
okay.
Nah, I don't know. Turn myself up a bit. Make sure they can really hear me. But yeah, that's about it. And then like stayed in Boston the night before and the night after because we did Monday night. So it's just like there literally is not public transport that can get us back to Biddeford or Saco Biddeford area that late at night. So we're just gonna find a hotel and crash. Or we'd already found the hotel.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I mean that was about it. It's gorgeous. I fucking loved that vacation. That was like I needed that so badly. Part of the reason we did that, admittedly, was we're thinking about trying to move out that way eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I do have noise suppression on. I'll just turn that off. See if it's any better. I didn't realize I had noise suppression on Discord. So yeah, our eventual plan is we'd like to move out to the West Coast, but we wanted to go check it out first. That was part of the vacation. Part of it was just we've been wanting to do this for so long. This is our Christmas present to ourselves, essentially.
There you go.
Go on vacation, chill. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not an anytime soon because moving is fucking expensive. Yeah. But eventually I might be the West Coaster. Going live at 6 my time for game days. I mean, that was fun to like be having dinner and it's a reasonable time and you guys were doing game day.
Yeah, oh, sorry. I had to get the other stuff ready because I forgot to put that on there.
But, yeah, because I mean, we've been talking for an hour and we haven't even done this bit yet.
Yeah. I'll get that on there, but I mean, yeah, let's roll into that because like this was something like we were just randomly talking about cereals last show, and I'm like, you know what? Let's rank them.
What started it?
I don't know either, but let's rank them. This one we found up on the tier maker. There's some choices on here. Now, some of them you're gonna have to help me on because like a lot of these are probably American cereals, and I don't know. Okay, did I save this one? Oh yeah, yeah. This one didn't have an F ranking for some reason, so I had an F ranking put in there.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll start from the bottom, I guess. Lucky Charms. You know what? For the longest time,
that's not Lucky Charms. That's Honey Smacks.
Oh God.
Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah, Honey Smacks. Okay, I have no knowledge of Honey Smacks. What is Honey Smacks?
It's like a sweetened rice cereal, like slightly rice, like I think it might be slightly puffed rice with honey. That's one of those. I'd put it in probably like C or D's. I don't remember. I don't really have
Is
any
that
sort of like
is that
fond.
it's a mascot a
memory.
frog?
Yeah, I want to say his name is Smacks.
Do we have opinions in the chat? Have you guys had Honey Smacks?
Oh no, I'm sorry. His name was Diggum. Diggum.
Diggum.
Frog.
Oh right, there wasn't it a Family Guy joke where they like they were
Probably.
gonna have like a statue and it's just like Mayor West put the Honey Smacks frog. Like, Silence says not really.
Yeah, it's one of those like it would be a C or a D, I think, for me. 'Cause I just don't remember.
Yeah.
I have no
We'll
strong
put it as
opinions.
let's put it on D as like we have no strong opinions on it. All right, now I'll go for Lucky Charms. At first, I didn't like Lucky Charms, and I think that later on they changed their formula up so that like the wheat stuff. So classic Simpsons joke. Damn FDA, why can't it all be marshmallows? Because no one liked the other bits. And like, I bet you General Mills is just like, do people really not like the wheat bits? Like, no. And they changed. I think they changed their formula maybe like 10 years back, and like Lucky Charms are actually half decent.
It would be B or A for me. I don't know where you want to put it.
I would put it around.
I was the other way. I really like that was one of my favorite cereals as a kid. As an adult, not as much because I like the generic version better. I actually think the malta meal, like get it in a big fucking bag version, is better.
Yeah.
Also,
unless people in chat object if they think that it doesn't deserve to go there, we'll leave it there. We can play around with it a little bit if you guys like don't have strong opinions one way or the other.
One thing I'm noticing about the list, I don't know if they intended to do a Raisin Bran or a Raisin Bran Crunch for both, but they didn't do that. So there are just 2 pictures of Raisin Bran on the list.
That one said, I gotta zoom in real quick here.
Yeah, because one just says 2 scoops, and one, I zoomed in.
I gotta have to.
Yeah, Raisin Bran 2 scoops, excellent sorts of fiber, and the other one is just like old Raisin Bran. Like it's just a classic box, but they're both just.
There we go. Zoomed in a little bit. Now it's 2 boxes of Raisin Bran.
Yeah, I would think one should have been Raisin Bran Crunch, which I don't have a strong opinion about, but the fact that it's just 2 boxes of Raisin Bran, it's like
okay. And also, Song says A for Lucky Charms.
I would be okay with A. I just wouldn't. I don't think I would personally. It wouldn't be an S, but I think that just also gives them.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me go with.
I'll say
plain ass Cheerios. How are we on plain ass Cheerios?
I would put plain ass Cheerios in A tier, and they're just good, and it's a not complicated cereal. Obviously, it's very plain, but it's just good. And
I don't think I've had Cheerios like plain before. Here's my thing. This is probably let's contribute to my type 2 diabetes. Is I like wheat-based cereals. I throw sugar on it. Fair.
I would always do fruit with, because like I used to do like spoonful of sugar in cereal, but then I would, it wouldn't dissolve, and then I'd just have like a glut of fucking sugar.
I feel terrible now.
well, just like a little bit of a spoonful. But the problem is it doesn't dissolve because it's a cold liquid. So I go to drink the milk and I just have this like slug of wet sugar at the end. It's just
the wet sugar at the bottom is the best because like if you have like little bits that are left, you can scrape it off the bottom with the remaining bits and eat it. Oh man, Silence says B for Cheerios.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's not important on like millennial or not millennials, Gen Z, because that's that now infamous 10-minute power hour grumps. It's just like, where's regular Cheerios? Wait, isn't High Nut Cheerios regular? No,
they're just Cheerios.
Plain ass Cheerios. You have to run out in the middle of shooting and go grab a box of Cheerios.
Oh
yeah, I could go B.
Okay, yeah, that's fine for me. Side note, a thing I'd forgotten about. So Joe and I went to Cheesecake Factory as our first meal in Portland because it was convenient, and we were kind of making fun because like mine was fine. Joe wasn't the biggest fan of her because it was like this fucking tall of a salad. So we get home, and I check my YouTube recommendations, and it's like, oh look, ProZD has a new video, tasting 60+ items from the Cheesecake Factory. It's like, fuck, we can't get away.
I still need to watch that Markiplier video where he tries out Canadian treats.
Ooh,
I have not seen that one.
Sorry, it was just I just remembered that the fucking irony of we got home and oh look, someone else is eating Cheesecake Factory. Jesus. All right.
Speaking of treats, I'm a little picky. I'm gonna open those up. Wife got me that for Valentine's Day.
Okay, I thought we were gonna go to Rice Krispie Treats, the cereal.
Is Rice Krispie Treats the cereal actually there, or is it just Rice Krispies?
No, there's no. On your screen, right under Special K, is Rice Krispie Treats, the cereal, which I vaguely remember. I don't think they. That's a very like, 90s.
Yeah, that's like
that's cereal.
I'm gonna put that down on the D tier, close to F.
Wait,
because
no, they do make it. Do they make it again? What the fuck?
I don't know if they make it again. Oh.
I mean, I'm looking at a listing right now on fucking Walmart. Do they make Rice Krispie Treats anymore? What?
I would put
right, so
any
I'm gonna say
cereal, any cereal that is based around like just taking their treat and making it serialized. I don't know. That's so fucking lazy.
Yeah, and it was I feel like it was okay. I feel like it wasn't a cereal I gotta have this a lot. It was one of those, one of those weird stunt cereals you bought one time and it was disgusting. Or no, not disgusting. It was just like, this wasn't worth it.
I think I had like Pop-Tart cereal at one point. Like miniature Pop-Tarts. Yeah, miniature Pop-Tarts in a bowl.
I've talked about this before, but the worst cereal I've ever had was Dino Pebbles cereal, where they took Fruity Pebbles and added marshmallows and also made it sweeter. And it was the fucking worst thing. It was so cloying. It was actually terrible to eat. It was disgusting.
All right. Which cereals are these again? Green box?
Apple cinnamon, which
fucking F.
Go for it. I don't think I've ever had apple cinnamon Cheerios. But I also like along those lines.
Cinnamon in general,
I would also put Apple Jacks in that line because I don't remember. I remember kind of liking them as a kid, but I couldn't imagine having Apple Jacks as an adult.
Yeah, Apple Jacks. Get that. Apples and cinnamon and anything. Yeah, automatic Fs.
I mean, I like apples and cinnamon together. I like those flavors, but not as a breakfast cereal.
Honeycomb. I would probably put this. I love me some honeycomb. I know it's basis as fuck, but it's good.
You go for it because I do not have a good opinion of honeycomb. It's not actually honeycomb.
Yeah.
It's that when I was a kid, we had a box that we had forgotten about, I guess, of honeycomb, like at my grandparents' house, and I went to get some at some point. Some of the honeycomb, I looked in it, and there were fucking maggots in the box, and I've never had honeycomb since then. And it's like, it's not honeycomb's fault, but like it is just a disqualification from never eating cereal again. One time is the all you need to just like never touch the cereal again.
Out of all these, do we have anything that we would just automatically say S tier?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Agreed. Honey Nut Cheerios is
Honey Nut Cheerios are S tier. They are the best Cheerios.
Yeah. Out of all the Cheerios, they are the best. What about
the box of couch? Sorry, go ahead.
Rice Krispies. I'm leaning toward S as well because I know I just put like D tier for the Rice Krispie treats, but like taking Rice Krispies and making Rice Krispie treats out of them, like
yeah. I was like, as a cereal, it's okay in my opinion, but like the stuff you can do with Rice Krispies, I would say
very versatile. Yeah,
for sure. For me personally, I would put one of the Raisin Brands. I mean, I would put both of them, but it's the same damn thing. I would also put Raisin Bran up there. Raisin Bran's one of my favorite cereals, and has been since I was a kid. I love Raisin Bran, but I'm assuming that we're probably not going to agree on that one.
No, I don't like care anything raisin at all.
Fair.
I
know that one's divisive.
It's very divisive. So, Silent Hero says Raisin Bran's good.
I'll say I'm okay with.
Yeah, let's go A.
But yeah,
and let's put the other one on there because it's
just my list. If it was just my list, Raisin Bran would be S tier for sure. If the box of Count Chocula was actually Boo Berry, it would be S tier for me, but it's not, so I cannot do it.
Yeah. I would put this on. I would put this in the middle because it's only available 1 month out of the year.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. And I mean, Count Chocula's all right.
Like, if we want other chocolatey stuff, we've got Cocoa Crisp. We got Cocoa Rice Krispies, Cocoa Pebbles, and Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, I mean, Count Chocula is fine, but like again, if it was Blueberry, and I don't usually like artificial blueberry and shit, but like Blueberry is fucking S tier. Blueberry is so good, and I wish it was available more often than once a year.
I'm torn between Fruit Loops S tier or A tier. I love me some
A tier because I don't. Personally, I don't. Like I'm okay if you want to put it high. It's not my thing.
It probably would be S tier, but like if I had like the Magic Spoon Fruity, I'd probably put that S tier above because like it tastes exactly like Fruit Loops, and it's probably better for me. But yeah, I'll put it on A, Fruit Loops.
Hey Mel, it's not here. There are weird choices made in this. Some cereals are represented like through multiple flavors, and some just aren't. Like, for instance, I don't think Rice Chex is that great on its own. I don't think it has a weird taste to me for some reason. But Corn Chex would be S tier if it was on here, but it's not. So I have to go on Rice Chex, which I would also put in
I've never had Rice Chex, so I can't really.
It's all right. To me, it just has it has an odd taste to it, and I can't explain it.
Oop.
And then
Special K.
And then,
I would probably put with B.
Go for it.
I find like Special K is basically just flattened out Rice Krispies.
Oh, okay.
But Special K is like they play it off as like the adult cereal that's supposed to give you a regular diet or whatever. But for me, it's just like, well, this is what I'll have if there's no Rice Krispies in the house, and it still tastes good with sugar. So
it's one of those like healthy cereals I never really ate. I'm gonna also put Honey Bunches of Oats in that same rate, but I also don't really like almonds, so that was part of it too.
C tier or D tier?
At C, that would be a like I haven't really had tier if we had one, but we're not gonna make more tiers.
All right.
And like Wheaties would be in the same tier. Also, we were talking. Wheaties is not on here, but I'm just saying like Wheaties is another one of those like it's healthy and it gives you energy cereals I've never had. But while we were talking about the cereals that are just treats that are smushed down and made into cereal, Cookie Crisp belongs in the same place. Cookie Crisp is fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like they don't taste like good chocolate chip cookies. They taste like.
Never had them, and I don't think they got into Canada until maybe like a few years ago. But like whenever I had like family members had cable, we lived on an area didn't have cable, so whenever they taped like movies on TV or American TV shows for us, or American cartoons on Saturday mornings, I'd always see Cookie Crisp commercials, and I was like, this cereal looks so good. I think my dad ordered like he went on a trip and brought a box back or like half a bag or something, and he's just like,
Yeah, you know the kind of like chocolate chip cookies you get out of a vending machine at like a bus station or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like those. Silent said Kix is D, and we're gonna fight about that. Kix is way up there for me. It's A or S, honestly. It's another cereal where it's like it's kind of bland, and I need it like with fruit, or like I prefer it with like fruit. Like if I have some like blueberries, I can throw in there, or like macerated strawberries. But Kix is like way up there for me personally. It's one of my favorites.
Like on A or B?
I personally, I put an A. I think for my, if it was just my list, it would probably be
I have
S,
no
I'm not gonna lie.
I have no fight in this dog, or I have no dog in this fight, so I'll just put it there.
We'll put it at A because I know Silent One.
I agree with Silent Hero. Cornflakes is around C or D.
Yeah.
But Frosted Flakes, that goes up in A.
Yes.
Teetering on S.
Yes, for sure.
For sure, they do give you the wrong message. Eating Frosted Flakes will not give you the more energy to play hockey or baseball or basketball. It'll probably actually, give you a sugar high and then crash you really hard.
Yeah, and then there's what, two? There are two Captain Crunches, but they don't have Crunch Berries. They only have Peanut Butter Crunch, which is an interesting. Oh no, they don't have Crunch Berries.
Right
I didn't see it at first.
All right,
it's weird, sometimes it's a really good picture of the box, and sometimes it's a picture of kind of the cereal and also the box. Like,
yeah, we gotta get something better on here.
It's a little weird.
I've never had Captain Crunch before, but I've heard the horror stories of scraping the roof of your mouth. Yeah, I don't know how true those are.
I'd say it's B because it unless you really let it sit, it does stay crunchy for a long time. But also, it is a very sharp, but it's got good flavor. I don't remember
Reese's Puffs. Beat 'em up, beat 'em up,
probably
beat 'em up.
B. Like, I enjoy them, but never. It's one of those. I can have like a box, and I can just not bother getting a box for literally months.
Yeah. Silent Hero says Crunch Berries are an S tier for him.
No, I'd be down for that. Crunch Berries are really fucking good. So there's something about that, whatever the berries are, that like also breaks up all of the mouth shredding.
Yeah. Corn Pops, I'm going to put A or S. Like for me, like, oh man, Corn Pops. I don't know like how they are for in States, because like they're flakes and not balls. Corn Pops are D? Wow. Okay, we're gonna have a fight on this.
Yeah, because honestly your Corn Pops look more like bigger Kix.
I will compromise. I will compromise and put it A. We'll have a compromise and just have it A for Canadian style ones versus American style ones.
Yeah, it would probably be like C. It wouldn't be a D for me, but probably like C. It's one of those. I'd have it, but I don't remember like. I feel like it was a favorite cereal for like my older brother, maybe. Like one of my brothers, I think, really liked Corn Pops, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. I'd rather have my Lucky Charms or my.
I will say the ad campaigns for Corn Pops were like messed up because like it'd be like the internal thoughts of some kid. So like, I got the last Corn Pop. Stole my Corn Pops. We're fucking kill him. Oh wait, you're another box here. It's like this is some sadistic kids that freak out over Corn Pops. I did tell because Caden and Epic Game Music unlocked a memory in my mind palace of Pac-Man cereal. Pac-Man cereal is just it's Corn Pops with marshmallow bits in it. It was so fucking good. I'm going to get a bag of that marshmallow. Like you can buy just cereal marshmallow off of Amazon. Yeah. I'm gonna get that in. I'm gonna get Corn Pops, and I will report back as to how it tastes. All right, we almost got this done here. Is that the peanut butter crunch one?
Do you know what? Yeah, peanut butter crunch is the next one. That gives me that would be such a funny like TikTok thing. Is the cereal improved by marshmallows? And you just have a bag of those marshmallows and just throw them into. Even cereals that already have marshmallows, it's better with marshmallows.
Lucky Charms. Just throw more marshmallows in there. Damn FDA, why can't it all be this?
God, that'd be a really funny fucking. Because I mean, they do that shit now. Like I think at one point they had like a crossover of Frosted Flake Charms here, or just Frosted Flakes with Lucky Charm marshmallows. I don't really remember peanut butter crunch, honestly. I think.
Any do-gooders in chat have opinions on peanut butter crunch? How about I put it? We'll leave it with the captain here. We'll leave it on B for now, unless someone goes. Sonner's is not really okay.
I'd love to find one of these with like old cereals and see what ones we remember.
Yeah. Silly Rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Hey, that's another one
it's
where I remember really liking it as a kid, and I've never had the desire to get it again as an adult. Even when they did actually start
giving the rapid cereal.
No, when they actually made them fruit again, because there was a while where, and I think even in that picture,
It might be just like, you know, like they're just balls. Or just...
Yeah, they were just balls. Yeah, because when we were kids, they're actually like, they're actually like
fruit shapes.
Fruit shapes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain just.
I rank Trix lower than Fruit Loops as some. I would too. Like I would put this as C, maybe even D. Too nice. All right, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've never had it. Advertise the fuck out of here.
It's A or S for me, and I don't know which one I would go with. Honestly, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sounds a solid
B. Okay.
I'll go A then.
Okay, we'll go in the middle with an A.
We'll go A because cinnamon Toast Crunch is another one.
I feel like I'm gonna leave all the chocolate ones for later. Golden Crisp.
Chocolate is kind of what ending up last.
Golden Crisp.
That's kind of like I don't know how similar they are, but I feel like it's very similar to Honey Smacks, and it's just like not a cereal I had a lot of. So C, C, maybe D. It's just like
I'm gonna put D unless anyone else objects. Yeah.
Like we almost would have needed like I have no strong opinion about this line.
Yeah, I'll remember that for next time.
No opinion about Golden Crisp.
I'll think about that for next time because I have a tier list because of the Flash trailer. We're getting Michael Keaton Batman and Ben Affleck Batman. I was just like, I want to do a tier list of all the movies that involve Batman, and I found one.
Man,
I almost feel like I should have Darth Canucks on that podcast. I'm like, all right, Canucks, get in this call. We're going to debate Batman movies. Let's go.
I found another one with way more cereals. She had specifically cereal, but it's also it's to a point of absurdity because it has some of the absurd cereals we have now, like Dunkin' Donut cereals. Also has like every flavor of Special K. It's like I've not had this many fucking cereals.
Oh yeah. What about Frosted Mini Wheats?
S tier for me. That is genuinely one of my favorite cereals.
Is that the one where it's like it's not frosted on both sides, but it's like you got the wheat on one side and frost on the other side?
It sure is.
Yeah, frosted is good for adults. The frosted's good for kids.
Yeah.
Isn't that the commercial where it's just like they switch the guy from like the guy in the suit to like the kid in the suit?
Probably.
I feel like that's the cereal that has that.
Probably.
Although I think our ad campaigns were a little different there because we had like a cartoon Frosted Mini Wheat who like just talked about like
I mean we got there eventually too because I mean I think you can even see the frosted like cartoon Mini Wheat in the
yeah. So saving the chocolate for last, except for Count Chocolate because we put that up there. Fruity Pebbles.
That was immediate.
I would put this around the same line as Trix, maybe even a little bit lower because.
Yep, I actually would agree. I don't think
like they're not even pebbles; they're flakes.
Yeah, they're flakes. Like
S plus here. S plus, really?
It's one of the as a kid, totally. Like as a kid, I was definitely more into like cereals. Way less so as an adult.
False advertising. I agree.
I feel like the only thing I would use Fruity Pebbles for would be to. Have you seen the fruit flavored mini marshmallows before? Where they're actually like different colors.
No,
they're not just white. Oh, okay, that's an American thing. If I use those and Fruity Pebbles to make like Rice Krispie type treats, I think that's the only time I would buy Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that with Trix.
D. Yeah.
All right, last three on the chocolate. Chocolate Rice Krispies. I'm gonna put that D because. I mean, if it's not the OG, I just don't go for it.
I don't have fond opinions of it, but I am. There's a different recipe for Rice Krispie treats called Scotcheroos, and I'm really tempted to make that with Cocoa Krispies. because it's already like it's in a marshmallow. You bind it with like I
Yeah.
think it's like sugar and corn syrup, but then you put a layer of like chocolate and butterscotch on top of it.
I'm getting
So-
hungry, and I already have like Hershey Kisses I'm gnawing away at. Cocoa
Yeah.
Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs, I'd say B. It's another one of those. I haven't had it in forever, but I remember kind of enjoying it as a kid. It was definitely like my stepdad's favorite cereal was Cocoa Puffs.
And Cocoa Pebbles.
I feel like it's going to be the same level as Free, just because like, it's also just like because it's such a weird flat cereal. It has the same problem as Fruity Pebbles, where it just gets like pasted to your bowl while you're trying to eat.
I would like to do a last minute change. I would like to put Fruit Loops in S tier.
Okay, that's.
And anyone objects, like I mean, out of all the fruity cereals, like Fruit Loops is the best.
Yeah,
Then we got like Trix and
probably
Fruity
liked
Pebbles.
Trix more, but like that's as a kid. And I'm looking at it now. It's like I buy a Fruit Loops, a Trix, a Fruity Pebbles. It's just like no. There are times where artificial fruit are good, and I don't think breakfast cereal is one of them. But that's just my opinion. Except for again, Blueberry. I have a deep fondness for Blueberry.
Oh wow, I should have done this earlier in presentation mode. This would have been a lot easier to do. Next time.
Next time.
Learn stuff on the fly. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you do, let us know on Discord in this comment. I'm pretty sure Rob will cut this up and put this on YouTube.
Yeah, let us know how we got it wrong.
Yeah. So do we want to do the game of the month first?
Let's do the movie first, because I might talk for a bit about the game. So just so it's not like cool, it's 11:45. Let's talk about the game real quick. Interesting fact related to Applejack. For the longest time, no one knew the stick. That's curious. How did that happen? I guess there are credits on commercials. That's why you didn't find out that the yellow M&M was J.K. Simmons for the longest time.
All right, I'll have one of the clips from the movie on there. So, time once again to find out if Hollywood could replicate on the big screen what game developers put on the small screen. And I was going through my Stream Deck, and I don't have this all set up on Stream Deck, so we're just going to click the button here that says it's time for video games, the movie, the game, the review. All right, so what we picked for February, and we've kind of extended it through February as well. Halo Legends. Oh, like the Animatrix before it, it's a series of, it's not one long movie, it's not one long story, it's a series of different stories animated by different Japanese studios in different styles. So some of them are hand-drawn, some are like fully fledged CG. And they just want to tell the tale of of the Halo universe. I think the other way that the other example I was thinking about this the other day was Batman Gotham Knights, or Gotham Knight. It was same thing. There was like, I don't know if they were all original stories in Batman, but I know one of them was at least directly after Batman Begins, leading into the Dark Knight, which was kind of funny because that one was voiced by Kevin Conroy and not Christian Bale. But yeah, there's several different ones. Like the Animatrix before it, there's a two-parter that kind of goes over the lore of the Halo universe. So talking about like, the Forerunners, taking out the Flood, repopulating the universe.
I'm not going to lie, because I was a huge Halo fan in the Bungie days, and I had, I think, all the novels up until after Contact Harvest. And again, I lost it, but I used to have this when I was, when it was actually new. The first like 20 minutes or so of the movie just being like recapping the game and like all the games and all the other plots up aside, it was just like, I know this is gonna be the whole movie. I hope this isn't the whole movie. I've talked about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And then
not as bad, not as bad as I thought. Like, I didn't mind the Cortana narration of
yeah, the narration was fine. It was just like, for me, like, knowing all of this stuff, it's just like, I know, I understand. I understand there are probably people that they're telling who maybe haven't played all the games, or just kind of checking this out, seeing it on YouTube or whatever. But just like, it's just me being kind of shitty. But like, like it's like, technically it's 2 parts. So the first, again, 20 minutes of this movie with 7 parts in it, it's just Cortana telling you about the entire history of the Halo franchise up until that point, because this came out around the time Reach came out. So
yeah, I was trying to remember the release date of this. I was like, did this come out before Reach 4?
They're right around the same time, if I remember. I looked it up myself. Curious where it fell. This came out in 2010. This was February 2010. Reach was September 2010. So months before Reach came out. So right as Bungie were losing their grasp on Halo. And then the third bit was kind of cool. I also got confused as I missed the main character's name of this one, because it was like it's a samurai epic.
Yeah,
starring and like a previous arbiter.
Yeah, it was kind of like, again, it was sort of like it was epic, with like, the Animatrix, because there is a samurai story in that. Not really, like, I mean, it was they're in like a samurai construct, but it was in Animatrix. It was about like someone telling them that, oh yeah, I called the machines, I'm gonna go back into the Matrix, and I'm sacrificing you all. So this
was just a samurai.
Yeah, this is just like, yeah, what if the elite were samurais?
Like watercolor, and then the villain is just straight up in samurai armor. It was gorgeous, although it bothered me, just as like a Halo fan, that like the elite's bottom lip didn't split when they talked, unless they were like yelling. So they were just like talking normal. It's just like, that's not how this works. As a dork who paid way too much attention to Halo, it's like, that's not how their mouths
work. And we got this one here that is a Spartan and a prototype.
This one was awesome.
Gundam armor. It's like, yeah, that's pretty good.
What studio is though? Let me pull this up, because
there's a lot to go through, because like, I think like there's one that's done by Akira Toriyama, right?
I don't think Toriyama was in it. I was going to get to that, but it is Toei, at least. Okay. The studio that did the one you're showing did or produced like Ouran High School Host Club, a couple of adaptations, Full Metal Alchemist, Space Dandy, My Hero. Like, they've done a lot. Yeah. But yeah, so you get through this samurai epic where, and again, I missed the fact that it wasn't Jul 'Mdama. It was like an earlier arbiter. So it was like, okay, they're both dead. And then we hard cut to Spartan Elite falling out of a pelican and fucking Yamchaing himself. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Because it just hard shifts into a comedy skit, essentially.
I'll be honest, that's probably my favorite one. Just because of how ridiculous 100%. It was.
Odd One Out, yeah. And then I look it up. It's directed by Daisuke Nishiko, who directed Dragon Ball, and it's by Toei Animation. It was just like, like I didn't do enough research to realize it was all like big name anime companies, and that this was going to be completely absurd.
Yeah. I want to say that the fully CG one,
Elite, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
he's literally Spartan 1337.
I want to say like the later one there with Master Chief and the fully CG one. I think that was the same company that did Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Probably.
I think Ghost. I think one of them was by the same people that did Ghost in the Shell.
Which one was that?
I'm not sure. Unfortunately, besides like Dragon Ball Z, I'm like completely I've lost all my knowledge of all anime.
Oh.
It's like I used to be like really hardcore to anime. It's like I followed everything, and then I just stopped.
So The company that made that one, the last one, because that to me was super jarring. That everything else was kind of like relatively like at least like looked hand drawn or had very minimal CGI, and then to suddenly go into like, let's be honest, kind of machinima looking full CG 3D models was super jarring.
Mm-hmm.
So that was done by Casio Entertainment, and at least on this that I can see, there's only one other movie, at least from this Anime News Network site that I can see, that Casio Entertainment worked on. Advent Children. they did that. Apparently the only two anime that they've been actually associated with are Advent Children and Halo Legends.
Damn.
Yeah, and the prototype was really good, and the babysitter was really fun, where it was a bunch of ODST who were just like were pissed because they had to like babysit a Spartan, and
I like that
like
one.
by the end they actually had to save the day. Yeah, that one's fantastic. Oh, actually, the studio that did that co-produced the Thundercats 2011.
Oh wow, that like really good show that nobody watched.
And Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox in 2013.
That's probably one of my. Other than that's kind of what I want to have. Like I want to do like the Batman one because like Flashpoint Paradox is one of my favorite DC animated ones.
I guess they also, I'm not sure exactly how much, but I guess they also helped with Ashura's Wrath, among many other. That was
Oh yeah, because there was
Studio 4 Degrees C.
Yeah, there's two side stories like DLC stuff you can get with Ashura's Wrath that are anime based. Like basically there's like no action on your part. It's just it's a cutscene with quick time events on it. But the animation on it's really good.
Yeah, so the people who did the babysitter worked on Ashura's Wrath. I've been meaning to play that game, but I'm waiting for the DLC to be on sale.
Oh, whenever Ashura's Wrath goes on sale, the DLC always goes on sale, and it's usually
Not
like
always.
pennies. Really?
I've looked.
Oh,
if it's kind of a coin flip if it will be or not. It's one of those. I mean, it's like $7, but I'd rather pay less. You know, because I don't want to pay more for the DLC than the game, because I know I got the game on like super deep discount once upon a time.
Yeah, it's a good time, especially when you do the Ryu and Akuma fights.
Yeah, but like my general opinion of this, I thought it started really slow. But it got so much better like at that halfway point when the Akira or the Toei one started.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's very like very serious, very kind of stick up its ass serious for the first like 3 shorts, and then it's just like, now here's some wacky shit, and then here's some cool shit after.
I want to say though that the order that you watch them in is not the same order that they were released in.
That is correct.
Yeah, because they were all released. I want to say it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it was.
Or online, I can't remember.
No, it was on Halo Waypoint.
Right, Halo Waypoint. I forgot about that.
So it actually started with the babysitter, the one with the Spartans, or the
ODSTs.
ODST.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the duel, the samurai one. And then the package, which was the last one, the actual CG one. And then it was Origins. Oh, and then actually Homecoming Prototype and Odd One Out apparently never aired, or not actually aired on Waypoint. They were, I think, were just thrown into the.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm like, you just unlocked Mind Palace in my head. I'm like, I remember like booting up Waypoint, because this was like remember when things had separate apps? I mean, I guess they do now, yes. But like,
oh yeah, I mean, I still think Forza Hub is still a thing. For instance, not that I ever open it anymore, but I think it's still a thing. If you like, you can get some free money for Forza.
Yeah.
Depending on like how much Forza you've played, will unlock more money than you'll unlock in every game.
All right, so let's get into the Discord thoughts here. Red World left a message back right before we were supposed to go live.
Do you mind if I'm a little rude while you read these? I'm just going to run to the restroom.
Oh, sure, go ahead. I'll have to do that, unfortunately, when we get to Arcade Spirits, because I have to go as well. But okay, Red World says, I remember watching these when they first came out and liking them, and I decided to watch them again for this little blurb. Yeah, I want to say all of them are still great, but I'm gonna have to shout out one in particular. If you liked it both, all it's called Odd One Out. Main reason being because it was funny. Not saying that they all need to be funny or anything, but Halo could use a switch more funny stuff to help balance some stuff going on. And Woody Man says Halo Legends was good. I enjoyed the shooting. The story was okay. I don't remember the ending. I fell asleep. Yeah, that's our Woody. Okay, so ways to watch this. Obviously, it was on DVD and Blu-ray. It is free to stream on YouTube in the States. I had to use the VPN to bypass it because it was not available to me in Canada. However, it is on Tubi for free.
Oh, there you go.
With minimal ads if you want to watch it that way. But yeah, we already announced it in the Discord right around the time, because like obviously we wanted to let you guys know what the next one was going to be beforehand. Get y'all like, you know, get it caught up and we can get ready to discuss it. This is kind of first for us. It's one that it'll still be ongoing by the time we get around to talking about it. But we wanted to, you know, obviously, you know, talk about while it's fresh and new. So for March's discussion group show, we're going to be talking about HBO's Last of Us. They're halfway through the season right now. There's 9 episodes and they're on episode 5 right now. Or they just finished episode 5 on Friday because they didn't want to compete against the Super Bowl. So episode 6 will be on Sunday. Yeah. The way I think our next discussion show is going, the show before will be the finale. So we were here 6, 7.
Yeah. No,
there'll be 2 episodes before it because it's gonna be unless that's one of those extra Wednesdays we don't have there. But yeah, Last of Us. I can already tell you it is excellent. I will stamp my foot down and say best video game adaptation of all time. You do not need to see the game, or you don't need to play the game, I should say. You don't need to play the game to understand the show, and vice versa. You don't have to watch the show to understand the game. They're their own 2 entities. They're the same kind of story. But yeah, it's really good.
I've heard a lot of good about episode 3, but I don't have HBO Max, so I have not seen it.
Okay, we'll have to figure out some way for you to watch it.
I probably won't be on that podcast.
No. Episodes, like, I don't think I've had, like, we can just talk about real quick there. I don't think there's any stinkers in this show yet. It's hard to say with the next upcoming episodes if we're following the plots of the games. I know kind of what's happening. But the cool thing with the show is that they are doing major changes to subvert your expectations. It's like if you've played this game a lot, like you kind of know the beats and you know the story, but they change a lot of it. And episode 3 is a great example of that. They change like so much that it's like a completely different experience. So that's all I'll say on that. But we'll talk about it more on the next show. We'll have 2 episodes before the finale. So to get everyone hyped, and then we could, like, you know, on the next one talk about it real quick.
Yeah,
when we do the next
casual chat about it on April's podcast.
Yeah. All right, go here real quick. I can spell.
I'm just gonna pull up my playthrough on YouTube.
You want to see something funny?
Sure.
I just type in Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. VV Contrast is the first one. Then Switch Up, P Cubed, and Mr. Tail Wolf Streams.
Yep. Nice. P Cube is the actual developer, so
there you go.
Okay, yeah, go to chapter 1, part 1, because we should be able to get to like the character creation in there somewhere. Yeah, a little bit after that.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you gush over this because unfortunately I did not play it. But I'm just gonna go run to the bathroom.
Totally, yeah. It's a hard thing kind of to gush about, honestly, just because like any sort of visual novel like this is, you know, it can be a hard thing to talk about just because like all we're going to talk about is the story, and that's the entire. There is a like the entire actual like meat and potatoes of the game is this story. So it's hard to bring up a lot of stuff. I think Woody did a really good job of encapsulating it, but like if you played the first one, and if you haven't, you should. And I tried to let people know, like the last Steam sale, it was on sale for like $2. You should have picked it up. But like take all the positives of that, of being a very like inclusive visual novel, and like having the romance of it, but not necessarily being like forced, because you can choose to not do the romance at all and just kind of stay friends with everyone. That is a very valid route to take, and the game does not criticize you for it in any way. It's not like some other dating sims where you don't pick somebody and then the game kills you. But like take all the positives of that, of, you know, like taking this character, helping them realize their dream, helping them find someone to love if you want to, and like what he said, crank it to 11. And obviously the setting is a little different. It's still the same universe, but instead of a dude with no job who is directed to an arcade to become an employee and eventually like realize your dream of running an arcade, you're a dude who does esports in his house, but in this world arcades are much more popular and people do esports in arcades. So you try to find an actual esports team so you can like actually build yourself up a little bit, you know. Build yourself up, try to get to like the world tour, and you find this very ragtag group that they all play it, but they're not really an esports team, and you kind of bring them together to become an esports team. You fall in love with them if you feel like it. The character creator is way more fleshed out, which you want to skip ahead just a little bit. Thank you. You can see way more options for the character creator. You've got because the first one was kind of just like hair, eyes, skin tone, shirt color, hair length, and name and pronouns. And then this one is all of that plus like nose shape, eye, just eye color. Hats. You can choose your shirt and your pants. It will help you change your body type as well. So many pronouns. There are, I think, like 18 different pronouns for whatever. Yeah, we missed that part, but it's fine. However you want to identify. I was a little disappointed, honestly, that there were no beards, but I understand. It's one more thing you have to change per,
Jawline
to have on every
that.
face per person, and like Ren'Py isn't really built for this kind of thing, honestly. So I get it, I do, and also like as it's a great like variety of body shapes, which we'll see briefly. To keep it on the character creator.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
There. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you can see, but when it goes into body type and shirt, here's a bunch of different body types, so you can look more like yourself. And the game also, every chapter will pull this up again and be like, hey, do you want to change any of this? Like, if you're a gender fluid person and hey, you're playing as on a day where maybe this is not how you're identifying. Cool, I guess our new chapter completely changed the way my character looks, and no one is going to be different. They're just going to go, I was she her, now I'm he him. They're just going to use he him pronouns, or whichever pronouns you prefer. I love that part of the game. I love that Two Flower put that in, and I really like the story. It definitely gets heavier than the last one, and I don't want to talk about that too much. I kind of want to see if I can pull like Woody and maybe like Jimbo, like peel them off, and maybe we'll do a separate like spoiler cast where we can actually talk about our own feelings about the game, like in the actual story, but with the caveat of, hey, we're going to talk about and spoil like this whole game. So if you want to hear about our deeper thoughts on this, please come and check this out. But also, we're going to spoil the hell out of this game that is just story. So you should know this is what we're going to do. And yes, also you have a virtual assistant that's also an artificial intelligence that, because it's an artificial intelligence, is also technically, due to like copyright rules, illegal in all 50 states. The game goes places.
I was trying to find a place where I was get the a good shot of the actual arcade.
Oh,
because I like when I saw you playing it on game days. I was like going through and seeing like,
oh, this is the first game. This is a different spot. I think I was trying to remember what I called my arcade in the first game. I think it was what was happening here. Because unfortunately, it launched with kind of a bug where, there it is. There is the arcade in New Challengers. Yeah, I love all the like references in this, like
Capcom, SK,
Cam Cop, and ZNK and Namco. Obviously,
you've got a Rival Schools, King of Fighters, like, Tekken. Or what's this called?
I'm trying to remember those words, like Tekken. Like they're all not what they should be. I should pull it up myself. Tom Ken, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like rival colleges or something like that, or rival schools.
Looks like you got a bubble machine back there.
Yeah, and then the actual focus is the game in the middle, which is called Fist of Discomfort 2, which is a beat 'em up MOBA. And you do actually play it, but it essentially gets boiled down to like rock, paper, scissors. You know, attack beats defense, defense beats special, special beats attack, if I remember right. I could have that backwards. It's been a hot minute since I've played, honestly. But also, this arcade is also a laundromat and is also a pizza parlor, because Ben and Matt just do this sort of thing. They just make hybrid businesses. Yeah, it's a hard thing to gush about when most of it is story. But I'll read out the things that other people have said.
Sure.
Lemon Square, one of my fellow mods over at Stumped, a good friend of mine, said, "It's been a while since I played this game the day of release." Also, that I will say, bias. I will give my bias here. This video was recorded before the game was released. I was given the game by PQ. I will still be as critical as I can be, but it might be saved for like spoilers, as I do have some things that I wasn't, there were some things I wasn't super thrilled with, but they're like ending things. I don't want to talk about them that much, like unless we're doing a spoiler cast, because it's very much like I didn't like how this happened at the end, or like this happened really late in the game. Anyway, Lemon Square. It's been a while since I played this game the day of release. If I had any thoughts, I thought the story was amazing. I really like the Max convention because it feels like I went to PAX without actually experiencing it. That's chapter 3, I think. You go to a convention. There are a lot of surprises around every story that I cannot spoil. However, it's one of those games you can replay over and over and over. I had an extra over in there. And experience new routes and romance options, because you can romance every character. There are a few secret ones, and you can romance nobody. Or like every person in your team, and there's a couple of extra options and things. And then I'm just going to fully read out Woody's, because Woody kind of summed up what I would have said really well, better than I did, because I just rambled. Woody said, "Take all the positives of the original game and crank them up to 11. Then you have the new challengers. In the original game, I proclaimed how much I enjoyed the settings, characters, writing, and accessibility. The sequel just builds on this amazing world. In my playthrough of the new challengers, I found myself amazed. There heavy stuff, relationship, mental health, and so much more in a way that was entertaining, but took the subject matter seriously. Not to mention how much respect this game has for people to be themselves. If you go by a certain pronoun, the game most likely has it. Characters are fleshed out, representations of people with disabilities, cisgender, transgender, straight, gay, without just being one-sided archetypes. You can romance anyone, romance no one, play mini-games, skip mini-games. You play this visual novel in a way that's comfortable. And you put a heart emoji at the end. And that is all of that is 100% true. Because there is like I said, there is a mini game for physical discomfort, but I feel like that's not your thing. You don't want to play it. You don't have to. You can literally tell it, no, just skip it. Also, if you played the first game, you'll get this talk about stuff from the first game. But if you didn't, they kind of just don't bother you with it.
Right. So they have a way
Also,
of like
further
reading your
bias,
save file to know if you played the first game or not.
Kinda. It works better on PC. I think they had some problems with it on console, but now they just have like a Mass Effect style, like, hey, you were here before. What was your name? Who did you romance? What was your main stat? You know?
Yeah. I think
and also if you're a fool like me and you use the same name twice, there is special dialogue, one for using the same last name when you run into someone later, and then two, if you have the same first name, there's more special dialogue. The game kind of pokes fun at you a little bit, but not really.
It kind of reminds me of
while I was in Portland, I totally didn't bring my copy of Arcade Spirits on Switch to have and a member of Stumps and one of the writers of this game signed that copy.
Nice.
Or the sequel.
Nice. I was gonna say it was kind of like South Park did that with going from Stick of Truth to Fractured Butthole. There was no way to transfer your file over. You're technically the same kid, but like if you change anything about yourself, or let's say if you change your sex, because I think you were defaulted as a boy, but if you decide that you want to be a girl, Mr. Mackey would be like, I thought you were okay. So I'll just have a little bit of dialogue there, just because it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought, okay, we'll just continue on with this. I gotta play that at some point there.
So yeah, I've never played them. I think I got a copy, I think, of Stick of Truth in a grab bag, but it was one that has the like Ring of Doom on it.
Oh,
yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah. They generally go on sale
shout out to Enna, by the way, for signing the original or the new game with "Hurt You So Much," and then signing the first game with "Butts Are Cool." So Enna, so perfectly Enna. I love it.
Yeah. So that was the game of the month, Arcade Spirits, the new challengers.
Do to try to check it out. It's very much an indie game. It's very much a very small team. It's a lot of the game is by the main writer. Like even the game design, it's like one artist for the background, one artist for the character, one musician. Like except for the voice actors and testers, which technically more biased. Joe actually was a tester on this game. She is in the credits. Yeah, so it's very much like small studio. I know they're working on something new. I don't think it's going to be another Arcade Spirits, but they are working on another VN. So please give these games a try sometime if you just like a cozy game about, you know, arcades and romance and try to be the best you can be and realizing your dreams no matter what they are, because they both kind of address that in very different ways. Like it's approached in a very different way for both. Yeah, you know, if need be, look for them to be on sale. They're on sale pretty frequently. You know, whether it be on a console, I will say console works fine. You know, you're just gonna be tapping like A a lot, but console works fine. Because, especially originally, Joe played Arcade Spirits 1 before she had a Steam account. She was just using my name. So to not screw up, and like there's only one save file you can have canon ending to take to the second game. So to not erase her file, I bought it on Xbox. And I played it on Xbox, and I played New Challengers on Xbox to bring my file over. So it totally works fine on console. or it's on Steam, it's on itch.io. I think it's even now on. So many places you can get new challengers. Please give these games a try. Like I cannot recommend these enough. Like no, they're not going to be, action explosion, game heavy games. But if you just want to like curl up with a good story, play new challengers, play the first Arcade Spirits, play the third game whenever that happens.
Love it called Third Strike.
What?
If they go by the conventions, they need to call the third one Third Strike. Arcade Spirits Third Strike.
I don't. Yeah.
I keep it with the name convention of the Street Fighter series.
True. We'll chat about it later.
Right, so
we have. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So for February, we'll be discussing in March. So it's Claire Bear's turn. She's picked Dragon Age Inquisition. So this one, I don't believe you have to play Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2 to understand. I think it's like it stands on its own.
I think I saw. Well, I think I also saw they still do the comic book like catch up thing anyway. I think I saw someone say that to Woody, if I remember right. So I don't think you need to. I think it'll still at least like catch you up.
All right. Well, that's gonna
give that a try. Let us know what you thought. You've got a couple weeks to do that because we'll be back. We'll be back for the discussion show on the 1st of March, where we'll have a new game and a new series for you. We'll chat about Dragon Age Inquisition. We'll chat about Last of Us.
We gushed about Last of Us because it's so good and you need to watch it.
Yeah. Like I did.
Need to see.
I tried to.
Oh, my brain going. What was I looking up? Oh, right. The schedule.
Who's live? Oh,
and also who's live. I think we're gonna set it to hang time because Bolin's live with Wanted Dead, which apparently is a really bad game, but he's playing it anyway because he wants to. I guess Friday is up in the air still as to whether or not we're going to be doing a game day or not.
Yeah, I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I'll be live on Saturday with Hot Wheels Unleashed on Xbox because it's on Game Pass. It says crossplay. I have not figured out how to do a lobby, if at all possible, with PlayStation. But since I got PlayStation 5, I'll test that out later. I think though it'll have to be on Xbox, and I think PC can do crossplay. We'll have to look on that there. I know Eric's been testing it a little bit too. And then Wolf will be back on Sunday with Cult of the Lamb. Both start times are 9 p.m. Eastern.
You finally get back to donating to the Cult Totem.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still there.
Got stuff coming up on the YouTube. Best of 2022 overall. Part 2 will be going up soon, probably tomorrow. With me, Jimbo, and Eric, just going through random Twitch clips and remembering all good stuff and laughing and having a good time. We gotta get together and record part 3 and the finale because we're almost done. Yes, it'll be in 3 parts. All right. So other than that, yeah, we'll start the raid up and send you all over to hang time. Cool. All right. So the discussion show will be back in March, talking Last of Us and Dragon Age Inquisition, and probably we'll do another tier list.
Things happen.
Oh right, yeah. 2 weeks because passwords.
Because passwords.
All
right.
You have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll see you. If nothing happens on Friday, I'll see you on Saturday for Hot Wheels. Later.
I'll see you on Sunday for Cult of the Lamb. Have a good one.